Matt Murray will be out. The birth of a boy. Hasn't revealed the name yet. So he won't be there for us tonight. Forsberg will go. Gambrell, last second, just kind of tugged something there. So he may not go. We'll have to recall someone later in the day. Shabbat's a game time decision, and it looked pretty good this morning. So that'll be up to the medical staff to make that call. If he plays, Mete will go out, and we'll go from there.
Good news that Josh Norris is with the hockey club today. Does that get ramped up at all this week?
Yeah, for sure. He'll practice with us tomorrow. We'll see how he feels out there. Then we have a day off, then another practice before we play. So he's certainly getting closer.
TJ, if Thomas plays tonight, would you think about, just based on the practice, maybe going back with Zub and Shabbat, and obviously that feels like your number one pairing, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at right now. I think Zaitsev and Holden are kind of put in that play against the other team's top line. I think Zuby Shabby can create a little bit of offense, and certainly with Shabby backs gives us more puck movers.
TJ, if Thomas plays tonight, be his 300th NHL game, just what has he meant to this franchise?
Well, he's been here, and he's going to see it through. He's been here through all the toughest times. Played the hard minutes. Probably played more than he should have a lot of nights because we needed him to. But he's the backbone of the defense and a guy that loves it here. Built a home here. He's invested in the organization. He's what we're about, and he's as tough a player as I've coached. He plays through a lot of injuries that people don't know about. And he's going to be here when we turn the corner and be the big part of it.
If you were to identify one area of his game that improved the most since he got here?
Probably, obviously, his defensive side of the game. His play off the rush defensively is so much better. His play in his own zone has gotten better. But I think one of the things he's getting a lot better at is the power play. Just his ability to read the plays and make the plays. I think a lot of times that's just given for granted. He's a power play guy. But to be an elite power play guy, you've got to be able to make all the plays. And I think he continues to get better at that.
Is this something that sometimes gifted defensemen can't get that when you get to the NHL? Is this like something that you need to acquire?
What's that, sorry?
Like the elite power play thing, like is it something that?
It's not for everybody. I mean, you're making reads at a lightning pace, where guys are coming at you, and there's only, 10 or 12 of them in the league that are elite at it. There's guys that are good at it, but there's elite power play guys, and I think that's what Shabby's trying to be, or some nights he is. He's still young, and I think he's going to be that guy.
What do you still see in his progression? What could he be able to do maybe in 2-3 years?
Well, I think you're going to see him his whole game. I think he's a guy that could penalty kill. He could do everything, and I think he understands what it takes to win now. When you're undermanned a lot of nights like we are, with so many guys out, there's things you have to do to win in the NHL, and I think he's starting to understand that. And then when everyone gets healthy and you get all these kids in a couple of years that continue to get better, that is the huge part of getting over the step. You can have good players. It doesn't mean you're going to win. It's the detail of the game. It's doing the right things to win. And what we're doing now, with a little bit of a lighter lineup, it hopefully continues to carry on when you get goals back in your lineup. I mean, you have to score to win, and we're having a tough time scoring. But what we're doing is we're playing hard away from the puck, and that has to continue as these goal scorers and Shabby and these guys come back in. And as they get older and better, as long as that stays the same, you become a team like this Minnesota's and teams like this that have turned the corner.
Adam Gaudette mentioned the other night he's been waiting pretty much his whole career for an opportunity to play up on one of the top lines. And he mentioned also how much he's been clicking with you. What have you done to enable so much confidence and comfort in his game recently?
I just think I'm honest. I try and be as honest as I can with players when it comes to you're playing good, bad, and different. And I think he appreciates that. I think one of the biggest things, when I got into coaching is players hate gray. They hate not knowing. And he's a guy that just wants to be told straight up, am I good, am I bad, what is it I have to do to play? But I think with him, what he appreciates probably is that I separate the player from the person. So you could play horrible. It doesn't make a difference to me. Next day is the next day. you're still a person and you're still one of my teammates. I don't carry it with me. I think he's a good kid that lost his confidence along the way, and I think he's finding his confidence is what it is. And I think he's having fun playing hockey. And doesn't matter what you do, how hard you train, if you're not having fun at it, you're not going to do good. And it's hard to find that sometimes when you haven't scored and the pressure starts to mount. But when you're having fun, you always play your best.
What do you anticipate from the Wild? Like, you look at them, they're third in scoring. I imagine you don't want to get into a track meet with them.
No, but they're heavy. They stand in front of the net the whole time. They're tipping pucks. They're climbing on your goalie. They're getting pucks back. I think they're number one in rebounds recovered. They forecheck. They've got active D. They've got a big team. They go into Edmonton the other day and get 7 on them. I mean, you've got to be ready to play right away. We were in Minnesota, and I think they had 3 before we got a sweat on. So they're a real team, and I don't think going into the year people give them enough respect. But the way they're scoring, and you look down their lineup, the way it's spread out, they're a team that's ready right now.